Hey guys, I'm George from MovieWeb. How are you today?
Excellent, excellent. How are you?
Right.
Good. Joe, I want to start by asking you, this is an iconic figure of the game and obviously the series now. And I'm curious what combining talent with Will Arnett to create this version of him is like. What's the handoff, the experience like as you kind of like you're aware of the voice, your physicality is part of it, but it's like it's an interesting collaboration on creating the character, the end
No,
result.
I agree. It was when it was proposed to me, and it's been a cool one. So kind of going in, initially me and Will kind of compared notes and um, kind of generally, you know, shot around some ideas of what we wanted the character to be and how we wanted it to emote and what the general theme of him was and how much chaos to level and stuff like that. Then we go into production. You act the part in full. You want to give all the actors, the best opportunity to give their best performance. And then, the edit goes back. I'm sure Will combs over the takes, and then he lays down his vocal, and then you get the final product, which is Sweet Tooth.
What do you like after going into season two, after watching things in season one? Were there things that informed you a little bit that you were like, oh, here's how he's going to do this, and now I know a little bit about how I'm
Oh,
going to.
100%. Like the only thing I really had to kind of go off of before was watching a lot of like Arrested Development and trying to pick up a lot of the more wilder, Joe takes and say, like the more wilder takes that he would have out there. And then, a little bit of BoJack Horseman. Like, I started watching a lot of Arnett, just to kind of get
Yeah.
a feel for the voice and kind of ways that he would try to emote. And, obviously I'm not doing a Will Arnett impression. That'd be difficult enough, but at least trying to give the dialogue enough room to let Will do his magic.
Nice. Yeah. Mike, we leave things in an interesting place between the two of your two characters, to say
Sure,
the
yeah.
least. It's an interesting relationship.
Sure.
How do you view the evolution in season two and like what you guys go through together, especially given what fans know from season one?
I mean, for me, Sweet Tooth is helping Stu grow up a little bit. He's the big brother that Stu never had, and in this post-apocalyptic world, what's a better mentor than, this homicidal maniac? He's the best teacher you can get. And I think Stu, they're using each other in a bit of a way of Stu's using Sweet Tooth for survival, and Sweet Tooth is maybe a little bit lonely. He has Harold, but now he has this big adoring fan of his that's by his side, and I think Sweet Tooth enjoys that ride. But you just never know with Sweet Tooth is when is he going to get sick of that fan? When is he going to cut off his head? I think Stu realizes that over the course of the season is like what he wants is peace and safety and companionship. And Sweet Tooth gives him that to an extent, but how far will that go? And we kind of explore that a little bit this season.
Nice. So you're both coming at this, you come from kind of different worlds, from the physicality and the performance of pro wrestling and then from comedy. And there's a blend, obviously, but it's got to be fun to kind of learn from each other and your different styles and backgrounds. What are some things that happen in the stew of making the show, Stu? The two of you like each bring kind of in your from your uniqueness. What are you picking up from each other? Joe, maybe start with you.
I'll tell you this. Mike, much to his chagrin, is a brilliant improv comedic actor, and
Yeah.
many times, many of our B takes and our keep it rolling shots. Usually, some I have to admit, some of his most brilliant work may have been busted by a few little guffaws on my part, even behind the mask, just because he'll nail you with some good ones out of the blue here and there. So. Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing, and like I said, to Mike's credit, to a majority of our cast credit, just some incredible actors who know how to seize a moment when it's given to them, and it led to a lot of memorable takes across the breadth of the season. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot, and I'm sure Mike Mike has a few himself.
I mean, Joe doesn't have an improv background, but he's just a gifted performer. He's done it forever, and he's so good at it. And I've said this a bunch so far, but his physicality is just amazing. And being able to make people laugh with just, in this one scene, we're in a high school like kind of environment, and Joe is just walking down the hall and he's like twisting his hands like a Marx brother. He's just walking down the hall like this, and it's so funny. And you see that and you're like, oh yeah, like you're gonna think of every part of your body in a performance, and Joe is thinking about that so much. And it's bonding at the end of the day, like he's strapped into his leather suit. We're both covered in dirt and going through the same thing, and you're really bonding anyways. And I'm a fan of Joe, and just like Stu is a fan of Sweet Tooth, so that's easy to play into. But yeah, going through all of that, I think the Stu and Sweet Tooth bond is special, and that's my favorite stuff to shoot. And I've always had a blast working with him, and as does everyone. He gives a great performance on set before he gets dubbed over. He's already given a great performance.
Yeah,
Hey, appreciate that.
a lot. We'll remember that. A lot comes through in that dynamic. So thank you guys both. We've got to wrap, but I appreciate your time today. Okay.
Appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Yeah.